Hello, folks, and welcome back to StarCraft 2 Odyssey. And let us continue. You know, since I took two different takes of this, I actually can't remember. I think I read this in the third take, the take that I actually used. I think so. If I didn't, you can pause it there and read it. I remember reading through it. I just can't remember which one it was. And I'm still not used to only seeing a save there. There was a recent update to this. Hopefully it'll fix the glitches, but heck if I know. Ooh, close my phone. While I was waiting to get started here, I started looking at random tweets online. Just some random shit fits going on. So yeah. When isn't there shit fits going on? Someone was making a joke, an ad for Twitter. So do you like being angry and raging about things? And that's basically what Twitter is, really. It was a joke, but it's also incredibly accurate. And here's something I remember reading before on a completely different topic. There's a guy, Lord Byron. I don't know too much about him. I know he translated a few of Catullus' works. I remember seeing that before. I think it was Catullus' works anyway. He did other things beyond this, I just don't know them. There's one story I remember hearing that he wanted to bring his pet dog with him to Trinity, and he wasn't allowed. So he left the dog at home and brought a bear. The rules didn't stipulate no bears, only no dogs. So I just got to appreciate his smartassery. Okay, group up. We, for some annoying reason, don't have bunkers. There's also another story about him that was alleging that when one of his dogs had rabies, he personally treated it. He personally cared for it. He wasn't concerned that he could get bit or anything. So, no, I'm bleeding hearted. So just seeing someone else caring for animals and all that, I can't help but like it. Okay, put that down and get back there. I need to get another SCV. I need plenty more, but I'm trying to work a good balance between the two. Just need to get a ton of minerals incoming, and I need to get a good defense up. If I could toss down some bunkers, ooh, yeah. If I could toss down some bunkers, I'll be in a better position. But since I can't, I love this song. This is Terran 1 from StarCraft 1, and it's the most, just a bit at the right start. Here, I'll tab out for a second. This bit. It's the most, and we're back here. Beautiful, and yes. Sometimes XSplit doesn't acknowledge me going back into the game, even if I click like an idiot. This song is the most art, it's quintessential StarCraft to me. Maybe quintessential is the wrong word, but basically when I hear it, StarCraft pops. Not StarCraft? No. I do not think of Star Feces. But this is what StarCraft, it's, StarCraft's what popped to mind. It's like, when I think, it's just heavily associated with StarCraft kind of thing, like, it's just the signature tune kind of thing, Okay, we're going pretty well on the resources. I do find... Oh, actually, let me do all these too. One thing I always find about the RTS is where you can produce as many units as you want, is that it's always funny when they say like, oh, we need to get in contact with base so we can get reinforcements, when they have infinite troops. It just always comes off as weird. Come on, bunch up. Stop. It just always comes off as weird. There was actually one custom map that, if I can find it, I will do a custom. Well, I will do a few episodes on. And it was actually a very interesting idea, where they actually worked on the idea of limited troops. I'll just let them handle it. But where they played with the idea of having limited troops, and I really liked it. I'm not sure if it was the perfect implementation of it, but it was an interesting one. It was like someone actually trying the idea was quite interesting to me. And let's find 3 over here, there, and here. It was an interesting idea to me. Like I said, if I remembered it, I'll tell you. But if I stumble onto it, I'll do a series. It was a single map. And you played as Zerg, and you couldn't build any buildings, but you could reclaim them from feral Zerg, and you would get units for it, and you would get the buildings produce more. But you could only have so many. Like you'd have 6 drones for a hive, and that was it. If you wanted 12 drones, you'd have to find another hive. You could only have so many Zerglings, so many Banelings, so many Abominations, based on the amount of buildings you had, and that was limited by the level you were on. So it was actually a rather interesting idea. And if you did lose them, you could rebuild them as long as you still had that building. If you lost it, then they were lost to you. Drop that. We'll get this out of curiosity. There might be absolutely no point to me having it, but we'll get it on the off chance. Actually, there will be a point in a bit. That's it. I remember this level now. Because I've set up this nice little path here, I don't have to worry about them accidentally sealing themselves in, unless they do something really stupid. And I don't have to worry about them blocking someone else from their work. And go back here. 1, 2, 3, all here. There we go. Queue up some more V. Ooh, Christ. Focus. Ooh, nice. In some things you can click on into tech labs and get, upgrades. In others you can't. I remember in StarCraft 1 you could do that. And you can't do it in the StarCraft 2 campaign. Maybe in the multiplayer? I certainly don't remember. I never really did too much multiplayer. I'm of a much more slower play style than what works in multiplayer. I like to have a massive fucking army, take my time, build up, crush, and people like to rapid expand, they like to play fast, and that does not work there. Even when I started trying to build faster, I was still, I was still spending a lot on turrets and walls off. I remember 1,000 minerals was like how much I spent before. It was like I would be playing Protoss, and it'd be like a wall of cannons and 2 warp gates or something.
Add-on complete.
It's been so long since I played it. I can't play. Did that. Can't remember. It kind of worked. Sometimes it didn't. I remember one fight where a guy went heavy Raven Banshee, and it was really hard to deal with it. I didn't realize I could just use Archons, the AoE shot, and they couldn't be blocked. I didn't know about that. So all my other attacks were being shot down, sadly. Let's get 3 more. Not too concerned about supply now, but I'm thinking maybe I should get some more just to be safe. Because I'm going to need a lot if I'm to, move out. As you may have noticed, they do have quite a few units themselves, and they have Hellions. So they're quite good at the whole killing the fuck out of me malark. Okay, we have to take out the communication center. Without communication with the battle cruisers in orbit, reinforcements are impossible. Take control of the communication center to the north and establish contact with the Heimdall. Doc Adams cyber implants. I'm not sure if that's just a random little jokey thing, or is that actually a reference to something? I'm not sure. Okay, drop you back here. Fair bit of supply. Well, minerals left. Yee. Come on, build. If only I could build bunkers, then the Hellions would not be nearly as dangerous. They only do bonus damage to light, bunkers are armored, so, you know, they'll be safe enough. Okay, I need to get another barracks. In fact, cancel. You build that over. Let's see, that takes up 2, so 1, 2, there. Back to work. You. Also, back to work. Yeah, I'll need all of these to build up an army quick enough. Well, I could probably do it without it, but I'm impatient right now. Focus fire. The rest will fall easy enough. Just need the other thing down with a bit more haste. And of course, these also have no ability to take off. I thought they would. It just that had it removed. That was a bit of a waste. I didn't think that would be an issue. Fine. Regardless, we'll work with what we have. 6 should be enough. Now, I may have enough for what I have, but I don't know for certain. This better be good. Go, go, go. That's irritating. That's irritating. I have no idea why they have no ability to lift off. It was only the command center who had that ability stripped, according to the, plot point. Put that there. And you know what, we'll move out with what we have. I'll just station them there. 1, and we'll top that up. Beautiful. Okay. Group up. I will have to march back quickly with these guys if anyone attacks. Hopefully we will intercept any such assaults, but it can't be something we guarantee on. A few more incoming. I'll just keep going. It's the one thing I hate about this is just they start blocking off their own allies, so only so many can engage. You end up having to run them into. You end up having to run them into the line of fire to so their friends can actually get involved, and that just feels so wrong to me. You have to run them in without them being able to retaliate, and this feels like such a waste. I've got these guys here. I imagine there's an enemy there and only someone I can engage. I have to run these up to the bunker so more can engage and just let the hits, plink off. Just feels wrong, but it's the only correct course of action. And they're now having to go up against a shredder turret, which is not the best of things for them to have to go up against. Also, that was strange. I swore I heard a medevac, well, not a medevac, but a medic healing thing. Bloody hell, they have shredder turrets placed. And they do 75 damage? Christ. That is a ton. not much to a Marine. It just straight out kills a Marine, is what I mean. They don't get to fully appreciate how powerful it is. They're too busy being vaporized. Just blitz it. Again, I almost hate focus firing, because it feels like, oh, but there's so many outer enemies hitting them kind of thing, you know? Just me. Battlecruiser Heimdall. This is Captain Harsh of the House Rejects on the planet's surface. Do you copy? Sam, you up there? Sure am. We were wondering what had happened to you. Go ahead. And it was Comms Officer Reyes. Our communications busted. At the borrowed satellite dish from the rebels. We need reinforcements ASAP. Requesting drop pods on standby. Like in the earlier mission. We have orders to send most of our reserves strictly to Major Starling's location. Since when do you care about that, was? The Striker. I don't, but he's the one calling the shots. Send us what you can then, Sam. Whatever you say, Captains. We've just sent one now. Medical personnel. Rerouting them to you. That's all we can send for now, but you're going to need more support. Tell us. The rebels have more shredder turrets, which will be a bitch, but we've spotted a security hub east of you. If you can hack it, you might be able to turn the stress beacons on. And use them to guide the artillery we left on Barksville. Yeah, last I heard those weapons were short on ammo, but they might still pave the way for you. Thanks, Sam. We'll buy you a beer later. We'll buy you a beer when we get topside. You know, I actually never made sure the mic was down. Not sure if there's any dialogue there. I was busy gaping on my headset to make sure it was right. Yeah, it is. Just had to double check there. It would be terrible if I was recording this and it was completely worthless. I'd have to re-record it entirely. Samantha Reyes was born, or Reyes? I don't know. Samantha Reyes was born on, or Reyes? Was born on the Federation capital world of Centilius, and displayed a natural aptitude for electronics since a young age. Federation quickly made notice of that, and recruited her for the military research divisions. After years of fruitful work, she got into a fierce argument with a senior scientist and assaulted him. As a result, she was demoted and sent to Battlecruiser Heimdall as a comms officer, where she's simply better known as Sam. Bit of an interesting job progression there. You know, engineering person to, you know, what was it? She was in the research divisions, and now suddenly just comm officer. Oh, Christ. Over. Well, they did pretty well against the Hellions. Still, I'm not a fan of that approach. Just basically face the flamer end. Okay, maybe I went a little overboard there on the medics, but I'm gonna need them. There's a few more things. Accessing the security grid of Hillsborough will activate the Activating the security grid of Hillsborough will activate the stress beacons and will allow pinpointing of enemy forces for artillery fire. Get a hold on the security post. Okay, this is another case where this is an issue. Run in, open fire. See, much better. It was a good positioning and all that, but not burly enough. See, like I said, it's the best course of action. It just feels like a really weird move, you know, to run them into the enemy line of fire. There's minerals there. We've access to grid, Captain. Good. Call our boys on Barksville and tell them to start heating up those artilleries and be ready to receive coordinates. It'll take them some time to prep.